came in only when they started demanding for a separate administration. Because Kokomi's position is very clear, it's very firm, that Kokomi stands to defend and protect the territorial integrity of Manipur no matter what. We stand for that, and we have been standing by this commitment. What is the overall idea and how it's being narrated to the world? How the world is being fed with wrong facts, wrong narratives, lies after lies, just to prove and just to achieve that the Meiteis were never wrong in the recent violence, and Meiteis truth will definitely prevail no matter what it costs us, and that's our standing position. With due respect to all the esteemed members on the dais, my beloved brothers and sisters, mothers, beloved leaders and citizens of all Kuki legislatures, the 10 MLAs were so quick to conclude that they write a letter to the Prime Minister of India and justifying the very violent incident happened on 3rd May, and they demand for a separate administration to the Prime Minister of India on 8th of May, while we were trying to evacuate the stranded people from both sides. Then what happens? By the 2nd week of May, their narratives of Meitei, the tribal Christians being targeted by the Meitei Hindus was the second narrative, false narrative they start spreading to the nation. People thought that it might be true. The rest of the country thought that it is true. The national media, which they organized in a very professional way, which they spent excessively to mobilize all the media houses in Churachandpur, they thought that that very narrative of the tribal Christians, the Kuki Christians being targeted by the Meitei Hindus is true, and this report should be reported to the whole nation and the world. And that is their second lie. Because when the month of June arrived, the narrative of Christians being targeted by Hindu was completely rejected. And today there is no question of religious conflict or Christians being targeted by the Hindus. Because in the Imphal Valley itself, today you still have hundreds of churches still performing their duties, their service, with no disturbances from any of the Meitei Hindu majority or anyone. And that is the biggest lie the Kukis spread in their second part of their narratives. That is the second lie. The third lie, after the narratives of religion card is being rejected by the nation, they come in up with another narrative called Chin, Kuki, Mijo, Jomi, Mar against Meitei. They try to consolidate all the other sub-tribes of the Kukis under 5 different nomenclatures: Chin, Kuki, Mijo, Jomi, Mar. And these very 5 sub-clans or kind of sub-ethnics of the Kuki tribes is being started writing on the various statement again, negating the very idea of Kuki Christians against Meitei Hindu. That narratives again start changing by the month of June. And that didn't last long. It's being organized against the demand for scheduled tribe by the Meiteis. However, if you follow the timeline of the events, right from the moment they initiate the rally, you will be surprised how they act on that rally. Around 10:30 in the morning, rally starts by around 9:30 to 10 in Churachandpur. By 10:30, when the rally start marching towards the Churachandpur town, they started torching down, razing down all the forest offices inside the Churachandpur district. Office after office, office after office. The forest office, which is not related with scheduled tribe demand. Later on, when the rally was concluded, almost 8 forest offices, forest gate, and every forest infrastructure was completely razed down. And in that rally, we have all the proof. By that time, they have been uploading photos and videos on their organized cookie WhatsApp groups, which has been intercepted by many of the local people, and it is now on public, where people with well-dressed, combat-dressed, holding automatic rifles, sophisticated rifles, were also taking part in the rally. And by 2:30 in the afternoon, they started marching towards the nearest Meitei villages on a very false pretext, saying that their centenary gate is being burned by some unknown miscreants, which they couldn't identify till then. The gate, the pillar of the gate is also a big concrete pillar. And there were 2 small scooter tires being burned at the foot of the very pillar, and there is no damage at all. Concrete pillars with 2 tires burning, and we really don't know who burned it. They also don't know. They just blamed it on Meitei and said this is being done by Meitei, so we have to attack all the Meitei villages in the neighboring villages. So by 3:30, they almost razed down 70 houses of the Meitei in the neighboring villages with no reason. The villagers got no idea why they are coming there, why they are attacking, what was the reason, what was the cause. Nobody knew that. Anyway, that violence has initiated like that. Around 7 p.m. in the evening, Meiteis in the Imphal Valley started getting information about all the incident in the social medias. Then Meitei started retaliating in the Imphal Valley, where there is cookie settlements. That is how the violence began. But on the next day, when the violence between the 2 sides were in full scale, the so-called tribal rally was no more a tribal rally. It was just between the cookie groups and the Meitei retaliating towards their attack. So they couldn't anymore use the very word tribal unity, because our indigenous Naga brethren didn't take part in that violence. They have also been misled and dragged into that politics, state affairs, and they have also succeeded in that. By that time, every migrants from across the borders is being invited, give them shelter, teach them some 2-3 Manipuri dialect, making fake Aadhaar cards for them, making fake entry to the electoral card, converting them to the bona fide citizen of India. Then they started planting that population all over the Manipur vulnerable areas. This is their plan. And today, they have enough power and enough resources to mobilize all these activities. Their dream to bifurcate certain portion of the state of Manipur and make it a new cookie land, merge it with Mizoram, later merge it with the Chin state of Myanmar, certain parts of Sagaing division of Myanmar, and make a new cookie land called the Zhou land or the Jalengam. And this has been already published as a book by their armed leaders like P.S. Hawkip and so many other leaders. And this is their ultimate political aspirations.
And at no other circumstances the curriculum will never be compromised. We are really against the narco-terrorism, poppy plantations, as well as the illegal influx of immigrants that are coming from the outer sources. As per the government survey, we must wisely act on this and on timely manner. Thank you.
Long live! Manipur! Long live! Manipur!